Hey, how y'all doing today, guys? Today's historic Brawl video is Tatsunari, Toad Rider, a legendary creature, human ninja, that whenever we cast an enchantment spell, if we don't control a frog named Kermie, we make one. A 3/3 black and green frog creature token with whenever you cast an enchantment spell, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. You can also pay 2 to make a Toad Rider and a target frog of your choice, to make them essentially unblockable except by creatures that have flying or reach. So, very fun commander that's centered around enchantment spells, and also a little bit aristocratic. So with this build we're running a lot of enchantments, of course, to trigger the effects to whittle down our opponent. So we have cards like Sacred Sanctuary, a 1 green that whenever a creature we control becomes targeted by a spell or ability, we can draw a card. So it's very nice to get in the beginning. We're also doing like a +1 counter sub theme, where we have cards like Hardened Scales and Branching Evolution to double +1 counters that we get from cards like Fight Rigging, uh, Adonis Climb, etc. We also have many ways to draw cards. So we have cards like Moldervine Reclamation, Odin of Seeing Winds, and we're also running a lot of the shrines. We're running every shrine we can, honestly. We have both blues, both greens, and both blacks. We're actually changed that. We have running 3 of each color. So we have the the new shrines, the old shrines, and the older shrines. That's basically the idea that we're running with. We also have cards like Frogify and Omen of the Sea to also get the enchantment trigger going, and do a little bit of removal with Frogify being able to basically get rid of a opponent's commander. And we can also attack him with Toad Rider's second effect to avoid our opponent using that frog token or frog creature now as a blocker, so that's a little fun thing to do. And with all the +1 effects or +1 counters that we're getting, we have cards that can proliferate. So we have Rolex. I'm assuming that's how that you pronounce that. We have cards that let me just type it in real quick. So we have cards like Pollen Bright Druid that can proliferate. Contingency Plan can proliferate, which that was an instant, not a sorcery, but it is what it is. We have Evolution Sage, which is probably the best one we have, that whenever a land enters, we can proliferate. Rex Gambit can draw us a couple cards and proliferate. Yeah, that's about all there is in terms of that. And in our higher end, we have cards like Reverse Rebuke to remove our opponent's side of the field, essentially. Ava Brook to put more +1 counters on our creatures. Vorinclex, of course, because of the doubling effect. And really good against Planeswalker decks. Casualty of War can get rid of a handful of things. Aldrin's Epiphany can give us a second turn. The Great Hands goes in just anything that has a green, essentially, so it gives us +1 counters too, and it draws us cards, so even better. So, with all that in mind, we're going to get into a few matches and just see how this deck plays out. We also have the Drip Land. We got some alternative art with some of the dual lands we have. Against Karloff. Maybe we can keep this hand. Kind of slow, but that's the mana we need. Some early enchantments. For Hive. And we'll probably flash in Omen. access. Drum 2, it's fine. Long red, Druid, it's okay. I think we're fine. Let's see what else we can get. Bastion of Remembrance is nice. So let's pay the 2 life. Go for Toad Rider. Next time we can go for Snarl. So let's go for Rolling Earth. Snarl. Put it on the frog, make it more of a target. Shaper Sanctuary. And we'll swing in. Okay, they're blocking. Surprised about that. They could basically mitigate any damage we do to their life if they kept Axos, but I'm only assuming this is a Doomscar, if not it's the Angels. River's Rebuke is very nice. Let's go for Hadana's Climb. And we'll put that counter on Toad Rider. We should be able to transform and climb next turn. Try to keep River's Rebuke for their tokens. There's the first board wipe. So I think we just get our commander back out. So if we have a creature with 3 counters on it, we can transform Hadana's Climb into a land. Smothering Ties is good for them. Definitely not going to pay for it. So they have a lot of treasure tokens, not a lot of cards at hand, so we can wait for them to overextend their board. Might be able to Calcid these too. Yep. So let's go for Bastion of Remembrance. We're going to keep Ghost Centra in our hand. See if we can't get Climb to the flip. Feel like they might board wipe again next turn. They could board wipe and play their commander and some other stuff probably. If not, it's probably the Angels. Let's see. They need to gain some life this turn. There it is, Doomscar. So that's fine. So we'll just work on rebuilding our board. For some reason our timer started. We'll celebrate. We'll decline. Go for Cultivator. Go for a island. also give us our second blue source that we need for rivers. We'll go for Cipra. Put a counter on Cultivator. Now, next turn, or their turn right here, I feel like they're going to play out more cards, I would imagine. If they do, next turn we can Rivers Rebuke. Bastion of Remembrance. Do they play the Commander? Yep. So we ought to be able to flip. We're going to decline. Now if we wait another turn for Rivers Rebuke, say we can also do some war. Let's do that. So, artifact, creature, enchantment, land. Let's get rid of their ring. Let's get rid of their commander. Smothering Ties, and Treasure Land. Play this out on blue. Put a counter on Lost Wisdom. Put Lion's counter on Cultivator. Definitely gaining some life. Mill. So for 3, target creature we control gains flying and gets +X/+X until the end of turn where X is its power. So we can make Cultivator pretty big next turn. So they can play 2 life and search the library. I don't think they really want to pay too much. And they have to sacrifice a creature to also do it. They probably should have kept Cruel Celebrant in their hand. They might search for a Farewell. So let's see, is that what they searched for? Not quite what I was expecting, but sure. 2 triggers off a Bastion. Guardian Idol. So we can go for Toad Rider. Next turn, start pinging them. Validate the construct. Consoles. So let's kind of transform. Foul-blooded. They have no mana. Should be able to win now. Because we can just pay 3 to make Toad Rider. Give it flying and double its power. We also gotta just pay Toad Rider's other ability to make it unblockable, essentially. Going up against Tosca. This hand's a bit too heavy. mulligan. Can's a bit better at least. Espeth can get rid of something that they'll probably play. Start with Ley Line. So we're gonna try to see if we can get a land. Assassin's Trophy's pretty decent. Just want to make sure we get more land for now. Team of Legends, it's good. They're not really doing anything basically. So we'll just go for Castle. I'll go Autumn. It's good Espeth, Nightmare target. Hunt to get a land. We can go for Toad Rider. Get rid of the roof. See, they have a Boring Flex. Control. So Tchaikovsky. It's out of the Gary Guard. So we need some way to get bigger than Saya and Boring Cloaks. You got Gem Razor, which is nice. We can do Fight Rigging. Then we go for Cultivator. We'll go for an Island. Then we'll Omen on the sea. There's no point in attacking because they'll just block it. Sure to keep a stop on their turn. Guess they didn't get a land. So this is all good. Legends is pretty good with Toski, but we'll just block it. Going up against Raska. So probably like a Golgari Reanimation or Graveyard. This seems like a pretty good hand. So you can get an untapped land. Go for a Breeding Pool next. Hit 2, pass a turn. That's a good card for them. So let's see if we can get any removal for it. We got plenty of land, so more land. Welcome's Epiphany. So let's go for Forest. We'll just go for Toad Rider. So it's going to get a target or a bounty counter. So it might get removed immediately. If not, we got Binding the Old Gods next turn. Bin Bearer. So this might be like a Death Touch kind of deck. Perks of Fate is nice. So control. Okay, so this comes in untap. We can Binding the Old Gods. Get rid of Bane of Monsters, because now we can chump block Fang Bearer. Next turn, we can go for Hoden. They might go for their commander this turn. Alright, got rid of Fin Bear. Deadly Brew. It's fine. Search for a land. Overgrown tombs, nice. Forest, Odin of Lifeweb. Next turn we can play Toad Rider again. And we can probably foretell Aldrin's Epiphany at least. Draw 2 cards. Looks like they're stuck on land. Toad Rider. Play out that. And forfeit. Feel like they're missing their land drops. E2 Extinction, that's good. So we'll just play out Toad Rider again. You get a 5th land, you have another removal spell. They get Verasta, but if they do that, then
your corpse will make a nice souvenir.
We can just swing in with our tokens.
I'm going to make that disappear.
I don't know what else they have in their hand, but I don't think that was the best choice to make.
Don't be surprised if we meet again.
So, go for Judean Defends the Temple. We have 5 mana. We can just scry on our end step. Or, on their end step, I mean. Bang Blade, Death Touch Creature. Basilisk, another Death Touch, so... Strike. They might have a way to get Thing Bearer back on the field. So... I think we just keep going wide. See what they do for their next couple turns. Those 2/2s. Just play out Toad Rider again. Swing in with these. They're going to chump block both of them. Honestly, I would have just taken 4. I mean, try to keep jump blockers back, because now you don't have anything. I guess you're gonna minus some Toad Rider again. Yeah.
Step aside or be people.
I feel like they're not playing
all
efficiently. They could have had 2 creatures still. And we can just play out Muldrifter. Let's just put like 3 counters on it. Yeah. We'll just swing in. We're only doing like a little bit of damage, but
back to the shadows.
they're really doing anything. They feed the Swarm, that's gonna make them take a little bit more damage. Put it Blightfang. Just like Odin and see and win. And we'll attack with our tokens. Our flags. Go for Garcentra. Pay 1 for it. Destroy target creature, toughness. Yeah. So that doesn't work like I thought. Hooded Black Fan had 3, I figured that maybe we could have blown it up. Guess they could play their commander again, but that's not going to save them. They need something like a board wipe or gain life back to board. Fighting Muldrifter. Just not going to do it for him. Yeah, I guess we could have Aldrin Epiphany. We had plenty of options. Alright. Going up against dinosaurs. Probably keep this hand. We'll need to get some kind of removal for the commander. It's a good spell for them. Get to their bigger dinos a turn sooner. We'll go for Generous Visitor. Play an island next turn. Go for Toad Rider. Next turn, we can go for Branching Evolution. So whenever that's dealt damage. Alright. So go for Branching Evolution. Next turn, if we get a land, we can go for Fight Rigging and Trespasser's Curse. Blocks. First, we do not get a land. So what is, we need a 7, I believe? Might be able to get that. If I do, what do I want? I feel like Muldrifter would be the best. If not, Teferi's Insight. Attacks. No blocks. So play Green Root. We can go play Hoden. So start drawing spells. Play out Muldrifter. Probably gonna be able to play their commander this turn. So we'll have 6 mana next turn. Probably go for Cultivator. go Centra. Our opponents seem to be gone. So we'll rather cultivate. We'll go for a forest. And then we can play out Centra as a blocker. Let's put some counters on Muldriffer. Let's put some counters on Cultivator. No attacks for now. Make a mill of food cards. I don't know why they disappeared. They essentially skipped a turn. They could have played their commander. If they want to get rid of some of our creatures, they're gonna have to pay. I have to pay a bit to get rid of that. Blocks. So Cassidy's Award will be nice here. So creature opponent controls. Alright, we can get rid of Tyrant. So creature enchantment land. Let's get back our creature. Let's destroy that. And then we'll get rid of their dual land. We can play Trespasser's Curse. Get our creature back. Oh, we don't have a black source, so I'll play Roaring Earth then. Let's spread out some of our counters. So actually we'll put them like that, because now they want to get rid of Generous Visitor with their commander, they'll have to pay it twice. Colossal Majesty is good. Honestly, I don't remember what else Sakaria does, so I guess he can get rid of our enchantments. That is whatever. He got rid of Fright Fight Rigging, we'll take the 9. We'll draw a 2. We can get rid of their commander now. So let's go. How many black sources do we have? Not a lot. We gotta make sure we don't use those. So we'll go for Sanctum. Can't play Caretaker. We need to at least keep up two lands for Assassin Trophy. We will put this on Visitor. And on their upkeep, we'll get rid of their commander. Actually, you should probably do it now. for the land on taps. Next turn we can mutate and get rid of their majesty. And we should be able to start gaining enough life back to offset what they're doing. Especially if we play down Hodin and Knight's Reach next. That's the main. Land RLs. Rider Lake. We're gonna draw some more cards. So let's go for Toad Rider finally. We can cultivate if we want. Let's play Snarl. We will put that Toad Rider. Say we play Sanctum of Fruitful Harvest. We will just pump up Lost Wisdom. Drop a card. Okay. That's some pretty good cards to get rid of. We will drop Trespasser's Curse and Embrace. Oh, don't need to. They might be able to play their commander again. Play the Dinosaur Turtle. We'll just chump block with our commander and frog. Take them back. Need to be mindful how many so go for Hall of the Storm Giants. We'll keep pumping up Lost Wisdom. We'll go for a Caretaker. Vorinclex. Make it 14-14. Keep back a couple blockers just in case. Draw a couple more cards. Auto pay. And we'll dump some land. I think we did it. We can gain a lot of life. That's game.